Welcome everyone. Today's session is called The Body Remembers, integrating body-centered practices and restorative wellness for community health. Think of today less like a presentation and more like a walk together. You don't need to be an expert, just open to exploring how our bodies hold memories, experiences, and wisdom. I'm joined by a group of thoughtful practice leaders, David, Dr. Sarah Henderson, and Sarah Westbury, and myself, of course, Dr. Dillon. Each of us bring a unique lens to this conversation, from clinical care to community wellness, from trauma-informed practice to embodied research. Together we'll explore how therapeutic care, naturopathy, and restorative approaches help us listen more deeply to the body. Not just as a site of illness, but as a knowledge incubator. We invite you to be curious, to reflect, and to feel, because healing isn't just about what we know, it's about what we remember, what we release, and what we reclaim. We've all had that gut feeling, tense shoulders or tears we couldn't explain. This concept explores how our bodies know things before we speak or even fully understand them. We're here to explore what it means to trust that. A really good example as we begin to think about where we're located today is through our First Peoples. In Indigenous knowledge systems, wisdom is often collective, relational, and embodied. Most of all, intergenerational. It lives in ceremony, in land, in water, air, in language, and in gesture. This framework honors that by recognizing knowledge doesn't only live in books or data, but embodies in breath and in community. As we explore the other spectrum, artificial intelligence, we ask, how can AI learn from this kind of wisdom and not just extract information and be shaped by it? How does it create meaning? What does it mean to build systems that listen and not just to code, but the quiet knowing that rises from below the ankles? The body, as acknowledged through incubator, is both a mechanism and metaphor. It began where waters meet land. Crossing Holy Island's causeway in England, we witnessed the tide inhale the road beneath us, a threshold between stillness and movement, between memory and becoming. This idea wasn't born in a lab. It came from lived life, through travel, discomfort, joy, and moving through the world. We realized our bodies were telling stories all along. We just needed to listen. Imagine standing on a road that vanishes under the tide. That's what this work feels like. It's about being present to change, surrender, and noticing what rises inside you when the ground shifts. Academics call this embodied knowing, but simply put, it means our bodies carry knowledge even when our minds are silent. We don't just think, we feel, we move, sense, and remember. Wherever you've lived, your home, workplace, or within care roles, you've moved through knowledge. Remembering that shoulder pain, that feeling in your stomach before a decision? It meant something. This work gives us permission to treat that as knowledge, not noise. In workspaces, this theory reframes productivity as rhythm, not acceleration. Instead of rushing towards deadlines or ticking boxes, this approach asks, what's your rhythm? What does your body need? How can you lead, learn, or care in a way that feels more human. The body does not wait for permission to know, it simply does. From nurses to parents, farmers to students, we all carry knowledge, wisdom. This work invites you to notice what you already know. So let's begin the conversation, not just with each other, but within our breath, our posture, our pauses. What does your body know that you've been too busy to hear? In closing, the body as a knowledge incubator is a theoretical framework that understands the body as a living archive, where movement, breath, posture, and sensation encode experience, memory, and meaning. It frames the body not just as a vessel, but as a site of knowing, where wisdom emerges through lived encounters, not just intellectual reasoning. Thank you. Invite us to reflect on the body, not just as a vessel of biology, but as a living archive of experience, emotion, and wisdom. The body remembers. It holds trauma, joy, resistance, and resilience. It speaks in symptoms, in silence, in movement, and in story. Therapeutic care is not just about treatment. It's about creating safe spaces where these stories can be shared, heard, and honored. It's about listening deeply to what the body is trying to say. Conventional medicine has given us powerful tools to respond to acute crises, but when it comes to prevention, to nurturing long-term wellness, naturopathy offers a complementary lens, one that sees the whole person, not just the condition. Together, these approaches remind us that healing is not linear, it's layered. As Drs. Sarah Henderson and Sarah Westbury have shared. It's also personal and profoundly human. If we treat the body as a knowledge incubator, we begin to see care not just as an intervention, but as a relationship. Not just science, but a story. Thank you for being part of this conversation. May we continue to listen, to learn, and to honor the wisdom within. Over to you, David.